Guys, welcome back to Journey into Film with Philip Evans. I'm Philip, and I'm joined with my co-host once again,
Neil
Neil
Friesel.
Friesland.
Hello.
And we're back talking about John Hughes. Last time we talked about 16 Candles, and now we're talking about, quite frankly, quite possibly, the most popular film of his entire list, and that is 1985's The Breakfast Club, starring Emilio Estevez, Molly
I
Wingwall,
love her.
Judd Nelson, Ashley Sheedy,
Love her.
and Anthony Michael Hall.
He's awesome.
This is a pretty famous story. The story is about five teenagers who end up serving a day in detention for reasons, and all these kids fit a pretty simple type, Neil. Uh, Emilio's the jock.
That's right.
Molly Wingwald is the spoiled princess brat. Judd Nelson is the rebel outcast who's all screw the man, all that
Right.
stuff. Ali Sheedy is the weird one.
Right. There's always those ones.
And well, yeah.
Yeah.
And Anthony Michael Hall again is the nerd. Again. But
I just sneezed on camera.
of course you did.
Thank you.
So, Neil, I'm gonna ask you because you were alive for this film.
Yes, I was.
I was not. How did you find out about this film, and what did you think when you saw it?
I saw commercials for it on TV. You know, the ads early on during that time they started coming out with commercials and ads in the newspaper about it. So I thought, you know what, that's perfect because I think in 1985 I was a sophomore in high school, and when I saw the preview for the movie, I thought to myself, "Oh, that's just like high school right now. There's always those different type of people in the classrooms, you know." So, and it's really a coming of age type of movie. So
Yes.
when I saw that, I'm like, I got to see that. So it was an excellent movie.
1985. Doing all the research I've done, I have seen a dozen films from the 80s. 85, quite frankly, to me, is the weakest year of all the
Gotcha.
years. The best year, for me, it's a toss up between 86 and 89.
Gotcha.
Because 86 we had Platoon, among
Mhm.
other things, and 89 Do the Right Thing, all that stuff.
Yeah.
84 is pretty great too, but 85 was the weak year for film because you had stuff like Commando
Right.
and Invasion USA, films that are really dumb.
Mhm.
They're fun to watch, but they're dumb. But The Breakfast Club, to me, I saw this in 2008. A friend of mine had this film on DVD.
Mhm.
They let me borrow it, and I watched it because I had just seen 16 Candles. I had seen a couple John Hughes films. I was really pumped up for this one.
Mhm.
So I was expecting more of a comedy.
Right.
And that's not what I got. I got drama. I got
Yes.
characters I found to be unlikable. I'm sorry, and the only character I really thought was a good person was Anthony Michael Hall.
Yeah. Yes.
And once again, the nerd doesn't get anything.
That's exactly right.
I guess the problem with Molly Wingwald's character, first off, is why is this character such a bitch?
Mhm.
I mean, in 16 Candles, she had a reason. It was justifiable. They forgot her birthday.
Right. Exactly.
Here, she's just unlikable.
Yes.
And the rest of the characters, for the most part, Hallie Sheedy, yeah, she didn't really do much.
Yeah.
So can't really judge her. Emilio was the jock,
Yeah.
and then you had Judd Nelson, who was
The fight the power type of person.
the asshole.
Yeah. Exactly.
He was an asshole. Let's be honest.
Right. But don't you think like every one of those characters is a part of each one of us? Like there's some of those characters that are part of us, you know. So I think that's why they split them out like that. There are some people that want to be a jock. There's some people that are nerds but want to be the emotional person like Ali Sheedy. There's some people that want to be the bitch like Molly Ringwald, you know. So it
What do
just
you mean
depends.
want to be
Well,
a bitch?
besides you, yeah.
What do you mean want to be a bitch? It's like, no, they don't have to try. It
Yeah.
just happens.
Yeah.
Men can be like that too.
That
Neil.
is true. That is true.
That is true. Men can be like that too.
Yeah.
But for me, I guess the main problem I have with the film is that this was a trend in the 80s where you have all these films that are about teenagers.
Yeah.
And the kids are, smart, they're sufficient, they can take care of themselves, and the parents are just these dumb, uncaring,
Yeah.
a lot of stuff from back then I don't think really holds up today
Yeah.
because with all the recent events in the news in the past few years, we
Right.
know that no, kids are not
Right.
like this.
Right.
Kids are kind of, they're not like that.
Well, let's talk about what had happened up until that point, right? Into the '60s is with peace, love, and drugs, and sex, and rock and roll,
Amen.
and all the teens in the '60s were rebelling against their parents, right?
Yes.
So those same kids that rebelled against their parents and sex and drugs and rock and roll became parents themselves. So in the '80s, they had kids then. Those parents did not want to make those kids rebel, so they let those kids really do what they want, right? And it's switched now.
And it gave birth to the yuppie
Yes,
movement,
absolutely.
which I despise.
Yeah. Well.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not a yuppie.
Fuck the yuppie movement.
Yeah.
To hell with the weighted 80s. The film is not all trash as far as
Right.
I'm concerned. To me, the best part of that film is the principal, played by Paul Gleason. Paul Gleason, who played the principal. Perfect bad guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Perfect
bad
guy.
Yes.
If they ever made a live action Simpsons movie and they needed someone to play Principal Skinner,
Yes.
I would cast that guy if he wasn't dead,
Yeah.
because I think he did die.
I think he did
eventually, like 2008, I believe.
Yeah.
But he was great, and I also like the janitor,
Yes.
where he says, "I know where you'll be in a few years." It's like awesome.
Yeah.
Like, thank you. Tell these kids what's what, man.
Yeah.
And of course, it's got the song that I think has become like the anthem for
Yes.
John Hughes. Don't you forget about me.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
song.
And that was a big hit. Big hit in the '80s.
Yep. Yep. And of course, the film ends with Judd Nelson doing this thing.
That's right.
So there are some things to take away from it as far as like, okay, it's not awful. I can still watch it.
Yeah.
I just gotta tolerate a lot of BS to get.
Right.
I personally think there's better John Hughes films. As we will get to.
Yeah. But do you think that was a good movie for the time?
There are films that fit their time frame, but yet they managed to surpass their time frame.
Gotcha.
White to me, if I were to watch Wayne's World right now, yes, it is a '90s film. It has all that, but it still holds up. It's still funny. I still enjoy. I mean, that whole scene when they're doing Bohemian Rhapsody, I can watch that scene to this day.
It's classic. That's
and
exactly
bang my head.
Yes, it's classic.
But bottom line, I thought the film wasn't all that good. It's not awful. I just don't think it's great.
Gotcha.
You grew up with that film.
I do.
You grew up with John Hughes, so you have a stronger connection to those films
Absolutely.
than myself.
And I think because I saw it when it first came out, when I was that age, so I was in that era. I felt those connections to each one of those characters. So, and because of that, I've carried that my entire life. So I just recently watched The Breakfast Club, within the last year. It was on TV and it's right at the beginning. I'm like, oh,
I'll watch
stopped
it.
and watched
Why
it.
not?
And I thought, oh yeah, I remember this is good. It'd been a while since I'd seen it.
Yep.
But I thought it was an excellent movie because of it was an excellent movie for the teens at that time. So I can't think of a movie right now that's an excellent movie for the teens at this time, right?
I
What
can
movie,
name a few.
okay, what movie might be equivalent to that now today?
Hertzebina Wolf,
Oh, okay,
Power,
okay,
The
okay,
Kings of Summer, The Way Way Back, Edge of 17.
gotcha.
A lot of those films are of today, and I think they kick Roy Breakfast
Gotcha.
Club in the nuts.
And you should think that because that's not your era back then, and you're getting a glimpse of the era, what people lived through then. Now you're seeing when you watch the movies today, that's your era, right? So
Yeah.
that, and I would think when somebody comes along your age, 20 years from now, they will look back and say the movies you named, well, they're okay, but these movies nowadays are better.
Well,
Things like
I'm
that.
not gonna say that about all John Hughes films.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
will
yeah.
get to films that
Gotcha,
I really
gotcha.
love, but
Well, we need to take a break.
we need to take a break now,
and we will
and
come
when
back.
we come back, we will come back with Weird Science.
Perfect.